Welcome back to the Suraj Podcast. This is the second episode now that we're going to be talking about Guru Hargobind's battle with Shah Jahan. This is his third battle. So in the previous episode, I gave a very succinct, very short summary of the first two battles. And also in the previous episode, we talked about now Jodh Rai, who's a Sikh of Guru Hargobind, now planning out this battle that they're about to take. So his plan was to take Guru Hargobind south about 4 or 5 kilometers, set up defensive positions around this pond there so they could control the water supply, and there was no other water supply nearby. And also it was strategically positioned such that it could repel a force coming from the southeast from Delhi and also from northwest coming out from Lahore. So now in chapter 39 that we're covering, Guru Hargobind wakes up in the morning. This is about 2 to 3 a.m. He does his morning bathing, and then the battle drums sound off. And the battle drums then awake everybody. Jodh Rai, his army, the Sikh army as well. Kavi Santokh Singh here, the author, gives a very vivid account of how Guru Hargobind then dresses, preparing for battle. So it talks about how he adorns, he puts on this new jama, they call it. This is a Persian word. It's for Persian type of royal dress, and it mentions that Guru Hargobind puts on a very long chola, a very long jama, long Persian dress. Then he ties his turban, dastar is the word used here, and it's white in color with silver embroidery on it as well. On the turban, on the dastar, he puts a plume, kalgi, and the kalgi, the plume, has jewels, rubies in it as well, and they're so shiny and they're so beautiful that it sends off light as if he had lamps on his on his head. They were that reflective and that beautiful. Then around his neck, he places a shoulder strap, a gatra, with a khanda, a double-edged sword, attached to it. And then on his waist, he ties this very fancy fabric. It talks about how it's very thin. He ties a waistband, kamar kasa, and in the waistband he puts a katar, a punch dagger. Also on the waistband is a quiver. So the quivers were not worn as people may see in the Western world now on the back. In India, the style was to wear the quiver around your waist. So the quiver was attached to his waistband, and in the quiver he had all these really super sharp arrows there as well. So this is the description that Kavi Santokh Singh gives to how Guru Hargobind is getting ready now for battle. And as he's about to get on his horse, Jodh Rai had sent a messenger to Guru Hargobind saying that let me ride with you. We'll go. Both armies will go together. So then the scene shifts over to where Jodh Rai is getting ready, and Jodh Rai, as he's getting ready, his wife is there. So Jodh Rai, how he even came into the Sikh community was because of his wife. So his wife was the daughter of a Sikh, and she was a very devout Sikh. So in previous stories, when Jodh Rai comes up, it always mentions his wife there as well, and how his wife would pay a lot of respect to Guru Hargobind. So now Jodh Rai is getting ready for battle. He's about to leave his place. His wife is there watching him get ready. And his wife says to him, listen, Guru Hargobind is not a normal person. He's playing this game that he's a normal person. But Guru Hargobind is in every sense divine. He's the all-powerful, he's the all-knowing. Even if the god of heaven were to come down, Indra, with his army, Guru Hargobind could repel them as well. So don't be afraid now you're leaving now for this big battle, but don't have any doubt in your mind that who you're fighting with is not going to protect you. So because of this, do not cower out here. Do not come back. Do not retreat. Fight with courage here. Fight with so much courage that it makes the Guru happy. And that you should remember. Do never forget this, and never forget your lineage either, your family. Because if you come back here, you're going to be a coward. You'll curse all of your lineage. So do the opposite of that, and make sure that there's great praise on us, our whole family here. Jodh Rai very humbly agrees with his wife, saying that you've instilled a lot of love and faith in me for Guru Hargobind, and don't worry, I won't ever abandon the Guru. I'm ready to lay my life at his feet here. So a very touching moment, as husband and wife may never see each other again. Jodh Rai then leaves and meets up with Guru Hargobind. It talks about how Jodh Rai has 1,000 soldiers. They're broken up into mercenaries and also his family, who are warriors. And Guru Hargobind with him there at that camp has 3,000 warriors. So when Jodh Rai then gets together with the Guru, Jodh Rai does a salutation, bows down to Guru Hargobind. They begin to set off. Guru Hargobind calls for Janpai. So Janpai was that original horse that got stolen by Bidhi Chand from the fort of Lahore. So the original name of Janpai was Dilbag, and they also call for Gulbag, and then Guru Hargobind changes his name there, the second horse, and he changes his name to Suhela. So in realizing that Suhela now had just come just the night before from Lahore, because Bidhi Chand had brought him back, he says, okay, Suhela needs to rest. What I'll do is I'll ride Janpai from here down to the battle position. And he's just looking at the horse and he's saying, wow, this horse is so beautiful. This horse is as if, in Hindu mythology, Vishnu has a mount, and his name is Garud. He's this bird, and is known for his beauty, his agility, his devotion to Vishnu. And Guru Hargobind says this horse is as if it's a Garud. It's as if it's Vishnu's mount here. So they set off and they ride together. Guru Hargobind calls Jodh Rai up and says, okay, we're going to ride together here. So, don't put me at front. We're riding together. It's a great sign of friendship between them. And as now Guru Hargobind is riding Janpai for the first time, he basically begins to test the horse out. So it talks about how Guru Hargobind then would really give it with the horse. He'd really ride very fast. He'd start doing jumps with the horse, and he's just amazed at how amazing this horse was. It talks about how agile the horse is, like a deer, is able to shift very quickly and change direction. How quick it is that it can leave the wind behind it. How it can do very long jumps. How it can do very high jumps. And the Guru was just amazed at this, saying, wow, what a beauty of a horse this horse is. And basically, I can't go far enough to praise this horse. He says that if you collected all the great virtues and abilities of all the horses in the world and you put them in one horse, this would be that horse. This is so good. And then as they're riding, they're talking about this horse, and they're also talking about Bidhi Chand, saying, man, how great was Bidhi Chand that he was able to bring this horse back from Lahore. And then Guru Hargobind, because Bidhi Chand had just come back the day before, is telling the story again to Jodh Rai, saying, you know what he did? He got them all drunk, and he tricked them all. He brought this horse, and not only that, he brought the second horse. And while he brought the second horse, he even got them to put the saddle on the horse, and he still took it. And Guru Hargobind just could not stop praising Bidhi Chand, how amazing he was for bringing this horse. So eventually, as they're discussing this, Jodh Rai and Guru Hargobind, on their about 4 to 5 kilometer track down south to their spot, they eventually reach there, and it describes the place as very barren, just with this pond around it. The pond had very clean water in it, though, such that they could use it as a water source. And Jodh Rai then approaches the place, and he says, yeah, this is the spot. This is where we need to set up here. And he was telling Guru Hargobind that, I used to come hunting around this area, and when I would come hunting, I always used to think that, if I ever needed to have a battle with anybody, I would draw them into this position, because they would be extremely vulnerable. They wouldn't have water at a very far distance, so they'd probably run away, and we can catch them at that point. So he's telling Guru Hargobind about this plan, and Guru Hargobind's very happy about this. He says, yeah, this place is going to be great for us, and he says, thank you, this is awesome. And so they set up camp there, and Guru Hargobind puts his tents all set up. They get the whole army geared up now, and then Jodh Rai with his warriors and mercenaries, then they begin to set up their camps as well. And that's where chapter 39 ends off, and the scene is going to change now, and it's going to go back to Lahore, where they talk about how Shah Jahan now is getting ready from his end for battle. And that's where we're going to pick up next time.
जाऊगा चढ़ के खालसे ना हारेगा तरला लाला मरेगा शर्म परेगा ते तरेगा गज गज करा जावे गुरु अर्जन साहब के मन पावे निहाल हो जावे सत श्री अकाल।